So today what we're going to do, this is part two of disassembling a long train. Part one, we we took apart the tender and put it back together again. So you can see how to do that if you go back and look at part one. So in part two today, what we're going to do, we're going to actually disassemble the Loco itself and go into it a little bit and show you some of the parts and pieces. So let's get at it. All right, so the first thing you got to do is got to take a look. All access to the tender is from the bottom. You have what it is. You got the various parts up on top. The green up here, that's one separate part. This piece right here, this the foot plate, that's a separate part. This red part, that's a separate part. And then you have the frame that everything attaches to. That's a separate part. There's three main pieces right here. And there's 4 screws that are holding the frame to the upper part. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you have 2 screws that actually hold the motor drive to the frame. 1 and 2. Okay, so but what first thing we're going to do, we're going to take apart the frame and separate it from. So we'll start right here. And we're going to move this screw. Remember to put everything away immediately so you don't lose the part. Now I just really enjoy taking these trains apart and working on them. Now these are way down deep inside, way down at the bottom down there. And that's why this particular screwdriver is really good, because it's not too big. The shaft's not too big where it won't fit down in that hole. And let's see if they'll fall out. There they go. They fell out. And so here's your 2 screws holding in the rear. So we've got 2 screws in front, 2 screws in the rear. And now we just got to lift this guy off. Okay. And all right. Just lift it up. All right. It lifts off. All right. Now there's 2 parts to this. You got the upper part and the foot plate. All right. And there's a screw right down there, but there's no need to take this apart. There's rarely any reason to, if you want to repair a long train, to separate this. But if you wanted to, right down on the bottom right there is a screw, and these 2 parts will separate. So we're going to put this off to the side. Now here's the main drive unit. All right, we got some parts and pieces in here. We got the front axle weight up front right here. This piece just lifts off. All right. And then this right here in the rear is called, I call it the IC chip, the circuit board tray. The circuit board is right there, the little tray that sits on. All right. Then you have in the rear back here, you have a weight back here in the rear back here. All right. And the way I get at it is I come from below right here, and it lifts up and out. Very unusual looking lead weight. I should have weighed it for you so you can see how much, tell you how much it weighs. It's pretty heavy. All right. But it's unusual shape. And that goes right here in the back, right above the coupler. It holds the coupler in right there. It holds the coupler on. Put that over there. Now you can separate the frame, the coupler from the frame. Now we're going to spin it around. All right. And we're going to remove the weight that's in behind the motor drive right here. This weight sitting on top, it sort of saddles this. And sometimes they can be a bear, because what happens is these weights swell over the years, and they get they swell up and they get tight in their little areas they're in. And this is a very unusual looking weight too. All right, see that little groove right there? There's a little groove right there that it slides on. All right. All right, so that's where we're going to stop for today. All right, for this video. And we're going to go on to part 3.